Hey there, treasure hunters. Did you know that the coin rattling around in your pocket right now might be worth a small fortune? No, I'm not talking about the quarters you use for laundry or the dime stuck in your car cup holder. I'm talking about the 2016 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yes, folks, that little copper-colored coin might just be worth a cool $1 million. I know what you're thinking. Come on, how can a penny be worth more than my car? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the fascinating story of this humble little penny, why it's so valuable, and how you might just have one hiding in plain sight. Stick around. You don't want to miss this. Let's start with the basics. A no-mint mark coin is simply a coin that was produced without a mint mark to show where it was made. Usually, coins will have a small letter stamped on them, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or P for Philadelphia. But some coins, for whatever reason, miss the memo and leave the mint without that little identifier. That's what makes them rare and, in this case, potentially worth a fortune. Now, the 2016 Abraham Lincoln penny is already a cool coin. It features good OL, Honest Abe on the front, and the Union Shield on the back, reminding us of Lincoln's legacy. But here's the kicker. The no-mint mark version of this coin? It's like a golden ticket for coin collectors. A rare manufacturing error turned this everyday penny into a once-in-a-lifetime find. Here's where it gets interesting. Most coins with no mint marks don't cause much of a stir, but the 2016 Lincoln penny is a special case. Experts believe only a handful were produced, and collectors are obsessed with finding them. It's like the rare Pokemon card of the coin world. And let's face it, collectors will pay top dollar, or in this case, top million, for something that nobody else has done in recent years. One of these rare pennies reportedly sold for nearly $1 million at auction. Why? Because scarcity equals value, my friends. If there are only a few in existence, the price skyrockets. It's simple economics with a sprinkle of collector craziness. Okay, now I know you're itching to go raid your piggy bank. But before you do, let me give you a quick checklist for spotting one of these gems. Look for the year 2016. If it's not 2016, you're out of luck on this one. Flip the coin over and look for the mint mark. If there's no D, S, or P anywhere, you might have a contender. Condition matters a lot. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition are worth far more than those that have been through the laundry a dozen times. Got one? Congratulations. You could be sitting on $1 million payday. If not, don't worry. There are plenty of other coins out there just waiting to be discovered. Now, let me tell you a quick story about the time I thought I struck gold, or, well, copper. A couple of years ago, I was digging through some old change jars at my grandma's house. I was convinced I'd find something valuable. I even got one of those little magnifying glasses, the kind you see in detective movies. Anyway, after hours of searching, I finally found a penny with no mint mark. My heart was racing. I thought, this is it. I'm rich. I took it to a local coin dealer, and guess what? It was just a plain old penny, worth exactly 1 cent, but hey, the experience taught me something valuable. You never know what treasures are hiding in your pocket. And it also gave me a great story to share with you fine folks. So there you have it, the story of the 2016 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could be worth $1 million. Who knew such a small coin could pack such a big punch? Now, before you go tearing apart your couch cushions and raiding your spare change jar, let me leave you with this. Treasure hunting isn't just about the money. It's about the thrill of the hunt, the excitement of discovery, and, let's be honest, the bragging rights. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, strategies for spotting rare finds, and stories from the world of collectibles, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And hey, smash that like button too. It's free. Unlike this penny we've been talking about, imagine this. You're digging through the change jar on your kitchen counter, the one you've been meaning to cash in at the grocery store, and bam, you find a penny. But not just any penny. What if I told you that a simple 1995 D-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million? That's right, 1 single cent, potentially worth more than most people's houses. Now, before you start flipping over your couch cushions looking for spare change, let me break it down for you. In this video, we'll uncover what makes this little copper coin so valuable, how you can spot one, and why it's turning ordinary folks into overnight millionaires. Oh, and stick around to hear about the time I almost tossed a valuable coin in the Coinstar machine. Spoiler alert, it's a funny story with a happy ending, so grab a snack, maybe your magnifying glass, and let's dive into the fascinating world of coins worth more than their weight in gold, literally. First things first, what's the big deal with the 1995 D penny? Well, this isn't just any penny. Coins minted at the Denver Mint in 1995 have a peculiar story behind them. Due to a rare minting error, some of these pennies came out with a unique doubling effect on the lettering, known as a double die. But wait, before you squint at every penny in your wallet, not all 1995 D pennies have this error. That's what makes them so rare and valuable. The double lettering is most noticeable on the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," as well as the year 1995 itself. The error wasn't caught until after a few thousand coins had already entered circulation. Fast forward to today, and collectors are willing to pay a pretty penny, pun absolutely intended, for this mistake. Now, you might be wondering, why would anyone pay over $1 million for a penny? Great question. The answer lies in the combination of rarity, demand, and condition. Coins like this are graded by experts using a scale called the Sheldon scale, and the highest possible grade is a perfect 70. If your 1995 D penny with the doubling error is in near perfect or uncirculated condition, it's like hitting the jackpot. The $1.1 million price tag comes from a recent auction where one of these rare pennies, in pristine condition, fetched that amount. It's the ultimate collector's item, and for some, owning this coin is like owning a piece of American history. How can you tell if you're holding on to one of these bad boys? Look for the year 1995 and the small D underneath it, indicating it was minted in Denver. Use a magnifying glass or even your phone's camera. If the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" appear doubled, you might be in luck. Even if you spot the error, the value depends heavily on the coin's condition. Coins with minimal wear and tear are worth significantly more. Now, let me share a little story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer. You know, the one we all have that's full of random batteries, old receipts, and loose change. I had a pile of pennies and was about to dump them into a Coinstar machine when one coin caught my eye. Something about the date and the way the light hit it made me pause. I decided to look it up, and guess what? It wasn't a 1995 D, but it turned out to be a rare wheat penny worth $500. The moral of the story? Always check your change. You never know when a tiny treasure might be hiding in plain sight, so there you have it, the 1995 D penny that could make you a millionaire. It's proof that even the smallest things can hold incredible value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who wants to make sure they're not tossing away a fortune, this is your sign to start checking your coins. If you enjoyed learning about this fascinating penny and want more tips on coins worth money, strategies for building a collection, or just some good old-fashioned treasure hunting inspiration, hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Who knows, the next time you hear from me, it might be about a nickel or dime that could change your life. And hey, don't forget to share this video with a friend who might have a 1995 D penny lying around. Who knows? You might just help them uncover their $1 million fortune. Have you ever dug through a jar of pennies, hoping to stumble upon a hidden treasure, only to come up with a handful of lint and maybe a Canadian penny? Well, what if I told you there's a penny out there that could make you a millionaire? Yeah, you heard me, a millionaire. And no, this isn't one of those too good to be true stories. It's all about the 1969 D Lincoln penny. This bad boy is currently valued at a whopping $1.2 million. That's right, a single cent turned into over $1 million. Imagine the look on the cashier's face if you handed that over for a pack of gum. Stick around, and I'll tell you what makes this penny so valuable, how to spot it, and why you should probably check your coin jar ASAP. And hey, if you love hearing about coins that can change your life, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more where this came from. Alright, let's start with a little history. In 1969, the Denver Mint was cranking out Lincoln pennies like they were going out of style. But here's the kicker. Somewhere in that process, a rare error occurred, creating a penny so special that collectors today are willing to drop over $1 million for it. A penny? Worth $1 million? What kind of sorcery is this? Well, it all comes down to what's called a double die obverse. That's a fancy way of saying the design on the front of the coin was accidentally stamped twice, creating a doubling effect. Look closely, and you'll see that Honest Abe, the date, and even the word Liberty look like they've had a little too much coffee and are seeing doubled SO. How do you know if you've got one of these golden, or should I say, copper, tickets? First, flip through your pennies and look for the year 1969 with a little D mint mark below it. That's the easy part. Next, grab a magnifying glass or, if you're like me, a pair of those cheap readers from the drugstore. You're looking for that doubling on the front of the coin. Focus on the date, the word liberty, and the phrase "in God we trust." If they look a little blurry or like they're shadowed, congratulations, you might be holding the key to early retirement. But before you start planning your yacht purchase, hold up. You'll want to get it authenticated by a professional grader. There are a lot of fakes out there, and you don't want to be the guy who tries to sell a counterfeit penny on eBay. Trust me, it's not a good look. Why is it worth $1.20 million? Now, let's talk about the money. Why would someone pay over $1 million for a penny? It all comes down to rarity. Only a handful of these error coins exist, and collectors go nuts over them. Imagine you're at an auction, and two collectors are battling it out over this penny. One guy's thinking, I'll frame it and show it off at parties. The other's thinking, I need this to complete my collection. And before you know it, the price has skyrocketed to $1.20 million. The thing is, the value of coins like this often grows over time. So even if you don't sell it immediately, it's like holding on to a little copper investment. Now, let me share a quick story. A few years back, I got into coin collecting because my grandpa handed me an old jar of pennies and said, "There's treasure in here if you look hard enough." I spent hours sorting through that jar, and guess what? No $1 million penny. But I did find a 1943 steel penny worth about $10, and let me tell you, I felt like a rock star. It's that thrill of the hunt that keeps me, and millions of other collectors, going. Who knows? Maybe your jar of pennies has been sitting there quietly, holding a life-changing treasure. The 1969 D. Lincoln penny is proof that even the smallest things can hold incredible value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who likes the idea of turning pocket change into a fortune, this is your sign to start digging. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could make you rich. Plus, who doesn't want to be the person at the party who says, "Oh yeah, I know all about rare pennies"? You're digging through your pocket change, about to grab a soda, and bam! You spot a penny. But not just any penny, a 2016 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny. And guess what? It's worth $1.30 million. Yes, you heard that right, million with an M. Crazy, huh? Now, before you start eyeing every penny like it's Willy Wonka's golden ticket, let me tell you why this tiny copper coin is making big waves in the collector's market. Grab a coffee, or maybe just your piggy bank, because in the next 40 minutes, we're diving deep into why this penny is the holy grail of modern coin collecting, what makes it so special, and how you can cash in on your own hidden treasures. Okay, let's get one thing straight. This isn't your average, run-of-the-mill penny. This particular coin was minted in Denver. That's what the D stands for, back in 2016. On the surface, it looks like every other penny with good honest Abe staring back at you. But here's the kicker. Some of these pennies were struck with an error. And when I say error, I don't mean a small oopsie. I'm talking about a minting mistake so rare that it has collectors foaming at the mouth. Think double dies, misaligned strikes, or even planchet errors. Fancy words for "this coin is a unicorn." Scarcity and demand. There are only a handful of these error coins in existence. One lucky guy, let's call him Jim, found his in an old coin jar he inherited from his grandma. Can you believe it? The man was just looking for quarters to do laundry and stumbled upon a life-changing jackpot. And then there's the condition of the coin. If yours looks like it's been through a war zone, scratched, dinged, or corroded, you're out of luck. But if it's in pristine condition, graded by professionals at a high level like MS 67 or higher, you're sitting on a gold mine, or in this case, a copper mine. How to spot a $1 million penny, all right. Now let's get practical. How do you know if you've got the penny? Look for 2016, with a tiny D under the date. That's step 1. Inspect for errors. Use a magnifying glass to spot anything unusual, doubling on letters, weird marks, or a strange texture. If you think you've hit the jackpot, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if you've struck gold or copper in this case. Let me tell you about the time I thought I'd found a rare coin. I was cleaning out my car, which, by the way, looked like a coin collector's nightmare, and I spotted an old penny stuck between the seats. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be a rare treasure in my Honda Civic? Turns out, it was just a sticky penny from 2005, and the error was actually gum. But hey, we live and learn, right? And now, I keep a magnifying glass handy just in case. As of today, this penny's value has skyrocketed to $1.3 million at auction. But remember, the market can be unpredictable. Demand could go up, or another rare coin might steal the spotlight. Either way, it's worth keeping an eye on your change. That even the tiniest coin in your pocket could hold $1 million secret. The 2016 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't just a piece of change. It's a reminder that treasure can be hiding in the most unexpected places. Check your piggy bank, your couch cushions, your car floor. Anywhere pennies lurk. Who knows? You might just find the next $1 million coin. If you love this video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon. I've got more tips, stories, and strategies to help you turn pocket change into life-changing money. And hey, leave a comment below. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? You're cleaning out that old jar of pennies sitting on the kitchen counter for who knows how long, grumbling about how heavy it is to lug to the bank. But what if I told you one of those humble pennies might just be worth $1.4 million? That's right, folks. A single 1989 Lincoln penny with no mint mark could change your life. Today, we're diving into what makes this coin so valuable, how to spot it, and why you might want to triple-check your change from now on. Grab your coffee, sit back, and let's dig into this treasure hunt. Let's start with some coin nerd basics. A no mint mark penny means it doesn't have a little letter stamped on it to tell you where it was made, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. For most pennies, this isn't a big deal. But in 1989, the U.S. Mint had a little hiccup. A very small number of Lincoln pennies were accidentally minted without the usual identifying mark. This wasn't supposed to happen, and that tiny mistake created a coin that collectors now drool over. What makes this particular penny so valuable isn't just the error, though. It's the rarity. Experts estimate there are only a handful of these coins in existence. Rarity equals demand, and demand equals big money. Here's where it gets fun. You don't need any fancy tools to check your change for one of these bad boys. All you have to do is flip over your penny and inspect the date. If you see 1989, but no mint mark under the date, you might be in luck. But don't go quitting your day job just yet. There's a catch. The penny must be in pristine condition, or as coin collectors like to say, mint state. That means no scratches, dents, or weird gum residue from being stuck in your car's cup holder for a decade. If it looks like it just rolled out of the factory, you're onto something. Oh, how does a penny jump from a measly one cent to a jaw-dropping $1.4 million? It's all about supply and demand. Coin collectors love rare items, and they're willing to pay top dollar for unique pieces. A 1989 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny in perfect condition is basically the coin world's equivalent of a unicorn. Back in 2022, one of these coins sold at auction for $1.4 million. Someone paid more for a penny than most people pay for a house. And the reason? It's a combination of the rarity, the historical significance, and a little bit of collector's mania. Okay, let me tell you a little story to make this real. A few years ago, I decided to dig through a dusty old coin jar my grandfather left behind. At first, it was just a fun way to reminisce and feel a connection to him. But as I started sorting through the coins, I noticed something odd. A penny with no mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. I ran to grab a magnifying glass like some kind of detective, but alas, it wasn't the elusive 1989 penny. Still, the process got me hooked on coin collecting, and it's been a rewarding hobby ever since. That story reminds me that the thrill isn't just in the money. It's in the hunt. Sure, a $1.4 million payday would be amazing, but even if you don't strike it rich, you'll walk away with a deeper appreciation for the history sitting in your pocket. So, there you have it. the incredible story of the 1989 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Could you be sitting on $1 million treasure right now? The only way to know is to start checking your change, digging through your old piggy banks, or raiding your couch cushions. Grab a handful of pennies tonight and start looking. Who knows? You might just find a small fortune hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I post videos just like this every week, showing you how to spot valuable coins, tips for getting started in coin collecting, and strategies to turn your pocket change into serious money. Let's make finding treasure fun and accessible for everyone. You're digging through your pocket change, half asleep at the coffee counter, and boom, you stumble upon a penny. Just a regular OL 2014 penny, right? Wrong. What if I told you that one particular 2014 D. Abraham Lincoln penny could be worth a staggering $1.5 million? Yes, you heard that right, a penny. Suddenly, that pile of loose change in your car cup holder seems a lot more interesting, doesn't it? Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 2014 D. Lincoln penny, why it's worth more than your car, and how you could potentially find one yourself. Plus, stick around because I've got a funny story about how I almost tossed a rare coin and how it changed the way I look at pocket change forever. Let's kick things off with a little background. The 2014 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark right below the date on the coin. At first glance, it's just your average 1-cent coin, featuring Honest Abe's profile on the front and the Union Shield design on the back. But here's the kicker. This specific coin is an error coin. And error coins? They're like the unicorns of the coin world. Rare, magical, and worth way more than you'd expect. What kind of error makes a penny worth $1.5 million? Great question. It's all about the strike. During production, a tiny mishap occurred. Maybe the die was misaligned, or there was an unusual double strike. Whatever the case, it created a coin that's completely unique. Collectors go absolutely nuts for these kinds of errors. It's like finding a typo in a first edition Harry Potter book. Imperfections make it special, and the market for these error coins? Oh, it's competitive. One of these 2014 D pennies sold at auction for $1.5 million. That's enough to buy a house, or, if you're me, a lifetime supply of coffee and snacks. Let's take a quick pause to talk about how to spot one of these pennies. First, grab a magnifying glass or even the zoom on your phone. Check the mint mark, the date, and the overall design. Look for anything unusual, like doubling in the text, weird marks, or off-center designs. And hey, don't forget to inspect those rolls of pennies you can grab from the bank. You never know what might be hiding in there. Now, let me tell you about my own coin hunting mishap. A few years back, I was cleaning out my junk drawer. You know, that one drawer everyone has where batteries, paper clips, and random keys go to retire? I came across a coin that looked a little off, but I was in a rush, so I tossed it in a donation jar. Later that week, I learned about the value of error pennies. I still lose sleep over that coin, folks. Could it have been worth thousands? Millions? I'll never know. Lesson learned. Check your change before you give it away. So, why are collectors willing to pay so much for a coin like this? It's all about rarity and demand. Error coins are one of a kind, and the more unique they are, the higher their value. Plus, there's a huge community of collectors out there willing to bid big bucks for a piece of history. All right, let's wrap this up. The 2014 D. Lincoln penny is proof that treasures can be hiding in plain sight, literally in your pocket. All it takes is a little knowledge, a keen eye, and maybe a magnifying glass to turn a humble penny into a life-changing payday. Now, here's your call to action. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, or just mildly interesting, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of coin enthusiasts. I share tips, strategies, and stories to help you uncover hidden gems in your change. And who knows, your next find could be the one that changes everything. You're rummaging through your spare change, looking for a quarter to feed the parking meter, and bam, you spot a penny. Nothing fancy, right? But what if I told you that this tiny copper coin might just be worth $1.6 million? Yes, you heard me right. A single penny could turn you into a millionaire. Sounds too good to be true? Well, stick around because today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1985 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why this little coin has everyone talking. And before we jump in, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a coin worth $200. Spoiler alert. It involves a coffee shop, an annoyed barista, and a very lucky Google search. But we'll get to that in a bit.so. What's the deal with this 1985 D penny? Let's break it down. First, the D on the coin stands for the Denver Mint, where this particular penny was struck. The Denver Mint is famous for producing billions of coins, but not every penny they churn out ends up being ordinary pocket change. Sometimes, due to errors or quirks in the minting process, a coin can become incredibly valuable. And that's exactly what happened here. Now, the 1985 D penny we're talking about isn't your average copper-coated coin. What makes it special? Well, there are a few key factors. First, this penny has an extremely rare error. Experts believe it's a double-die error, meaning parts of the design, like Lincoln's face or the lettering, appear doubled. It's subtle, but if you know what to look for, it's a dead giveaway. Second, the condition of the coin matters a lot. Collectors are obsessed with mint state coins, which basically means the penny looks as crisp and fresh as the day it was minted. So, if you've got a 1985 D penny lying around that looks like it just came out of a coin roll, you might want to grab a magnifying glass. Now, let's talk value. The current market value for one of these rare beauties is a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yep, that's enough to buy a house, a car, and maybe even take that dream vacation to Hawaii. But don't get too excited just yet. Finding one of these coins is like winning the lottery. They're incredibly rare, and their value skyrockets because serious collectors are willing to pay big bucks for them. Speaking of collectors, did you know the coin collecting world is full of quirky characters? I once met a guy at a flea market who claimed to have a 1943 copper penny in his sock drawer. He was halfway through his story when I realized he was wearing sandals. True story. Anyway, back to our 1985 D penny. If you think you've got one, here's what you should do. First, handle it with care. Don't just toss it into a Ziploc bag with the rest of your change. Use a soft cloth or gloves to avoid scratches. Then, get it professionally graded. This step is crucial because a coin's grade can make or break its value. Now, about that coffee shop story I mentioned earlier. A few years ago, I was standing in line, fumbling through my wallet for exact change. I handed over a penny that caught my eye. It looked shinier than the others, but I didn't think much of it. Later that day, I Googled "shiny penny 1970" out of curiosity, and guess what? That coin could have been worth $200. Lesson learned. Always check your change before spinning it on a latte.so. There you have it. The story of the 1985 D Mint Mark penny that could make you a millionaire. Who knew something so small could be worth so much? Now, it's your turn to take action. Grab a flashlight, dig through your couch cushions, and raid your piggy bank. You never know what treasures might be hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you found this video helpful or entertaining, why not hit that subscribe button? I post tips on coins worth money, strategies for finding hidden treasures, and a whole lot of fun stories along the way. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with your friends. They might just have a $1 million penny waiting to be discovered. You're digging through your pocket change, maybe looking for enough to grab a soda or pay for parking. Suddenly, you spot a penny. Just a plain old Abraham Lincoln penny? Or so you think. But what if I told you that little copper coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million? Yep, you heard me right. Today, we're diving into the world of coin collecting, specifically the 1991 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, which has taken the collector's market by storm. Stick around because you might have one of these bad boys sitting in a jar somewhere, and you wouldn't even know it. What makes the 1991 D penny so special? Let's start with the basics. The D Mint mark means this penny was minted in Denver. Now, most 1991 D pennies are worth, well, a penny. But the one we're talking about today isn't just any penny. It's a rare error coin. These error coins are like the black sheep of the coin family, except instead of being a disappointment, they're ridiculously valuable. This particular penny has a super unusual double-die error, where the design or lettering appears slightly doubled. Imagine Lincoln's face looking like he's got a blurry twin. That's the kind of thing collectors drool over. Plus, The metallic composition of this coin is slightly off due to a rare minting anomaly. It's like finding a 1 in a million golden ticket, but instead of a chocolate factory, it gets you six figures. My almost $1 million penny story. Let me tell you about the time I thought I struck gold, or copper in this case. I was at my grandma's house, helping her clean out an old drawer. You know, the one full of random keys, coupons from the 90s, and pennies galore? Anyway, I stumbled upon a penny that looked weird. The color was a little off, and the design seemed slightly crooked. I thought, this is it. My ticket to retirement. I rushed to get it appraised, only to find out it was just a worn-out penny that got stuck in a washing machine one too many times. But hey, the dream was alive for a solid 24 hours, and that's what counts, right? Current market value and why it's $1.60 million now. Let's talk numbers because that's why you're here. Why on earth is this penny worth $1.6 million? Well, it's all about rarity and demand. The error on this particular coin makes it so rare that even seasoned collectors go nuts for it. There's also a bit of a bidding war situation. Wealthy collectors love flexing their wallets to own a piece of history. In a recent auction, one of these 1991 D pennies fetched that staggering $1.6 million price tag, setting a new record. That's not just pocket change, folks. That's life-changing money. So how can you tell if you've got one of these jackpot coins? Look for the D mint mark under the date. That's your first clue. Check for doubling in the design or lettering. A magnifying glass will be your best friend here. Pay attention to the color and shine. The rare ones often have a unique metallic luster. Pro tip: don't clean your coins. Cleaning can actually ruin their value. I know, it's tempting to make them all shiny, but trust me, the dirt is part of their charm and worth. All right, let's wrap this up. If you've got a jar of coins lying around, don't just let them gather dust. Take some time to go through them. You never know what treasure you might uncover. Maybe it's a 1991 D penny worth $1.6 million. Maybe it's just a regular penny. Either way, the thrill of the hunt is half the fun. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth serious cash, strategies for spotting them, and maybe hear a few more embarrassing stories from me along the way, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And hey, give this video a thumbs up if you've ever dreamed of finding a fortune in your pocket change.